You guys remember this particular individual?
Got one! Got one! This is crazy. Oh my God. They still gonna put that shit.
Oh shit. Look, the girl laughing back there. She think it's a joke. Look, she laughing. Y'all throw that chicken up here on my mom. Yo, what are y'all doing? We don't got nothing to do with this.
Got one! Free iPhones! Free iPhones! Free iPhones! Wow, this is crazy! Oh my God, this is crazy!
As the New York Post has reported, this particular person, also known as Meatball, was released back to her house after getting, let's just say she's being charged with 6 separate felonies, which, by the way, she, quite frankly, should be. But still, at the same time, the mere fact that a person was let go after a day of looting, after a day of stealing stuff, just goes to show you exactly where we are at right now in the United States of America. Philadelphia, city of brotherly love, the city where the Declaration of Independence was signed, actually worked on, and of course the Constitution too, has officially fallen, in my opinion. Now, I would sit here and tell you guys that the cities could obviously be saved or all that type of stuff, but you guys know me. I try to be as absolutely realistic as I can be with you guys, and seeing how this video is going to be the only video that's going to come out on Friday, seeing how it is, I'm also working on 3 separate videos that are much, much bigger that should be out over the weekend. Just say that I'm trying to keep my cool as I give you guys this information. So, this person, Meatball, goes out, helps incite a riot. Of course, he also helps incite the looting. I'm not going to replay all the stuff for you guys because a good portion of it is in the news report that I'm about to show you. Somehow or another, this girl is actually allowed to go back home. She puts on her Instagram that she will never do it again, when it's pretty obvious that this same exact person will probably do it again. But then again, though, let's just go ahead and let the news do its job. Let's go ahead and roll this, and we'll come back on the other side because there's definitely a lot to discuss here.
Carry for me. Ain't nothing, never been nothing. I never been through nothing like that ever in my life. I don't even know what happened. Like, I need some sleep. I'm scared. I'm traumatized. Never again in my life. Like, seriously. I'm tired. I love y'all. They put the cheese sandwiches up in the vent just so the air could stop coming in the cell. Like,
to the chaos of Tuesday night when looting broke out across the city. But there were still some reports of break-ins as other businesses decided to just stay closed last night just in case. Catherine Scott has been following the looting investigations and the arrests related to it for us. She's live now in Center City. Good morning.
Good morning, Tam. And of course, the cleanup continues around the city today. And we're at one of the stores that was closed yesterday. Yesterday, all the state liquor stores in Philadelphia and one in Wyncote were closed after 18 fine wine and good spirit stores in Philadelphia were looted. It's unclear when the stores will reopen. The damage is still being assessed.
This is just very stupid. I don't know why they keep on doing it.
They're not accomplishing anything by doing this, but they hurting their neighborhoods, they hurting their stores.
Free iPhones! Free iPhones!
Police are now using this video for evidence. People swarming the Center City Apple Store Tuesday night, grabbing phones and tablets and bolting. Police say that voice you hear belongs to 21-year-old Deja Blackwell, known as Meatball on social media. Behind the narration, live streaming the looting, amassing thousands more followers, and broadcasting what stores and which locations to loot. Chaos started around 8 p.m. in Center City. The Apple Store, Lululemon, and Foot Locker hit, but it didn't stop there. The looting extending to locations in Northeast Philadelphia and West Philadelphia. Mom and pop stores, pharmacies, state liquor stores. Police say a caravan of vehicles drove to different locations, all the while Blackwell broadcasting and encouraging people to follow. Now at least 52 people have been arrested, including Blackwell. You see her crying in her mugshot. She posted bail overnight and is expected back in court next month. Police say the crimes were not connected to the earlier peaceful protest over the earlier court decision. The mayor emphasized that the looters need to be held accountable.
We've made 52 arrests already and counting, and they're going to have to pay a price. This is not shoplifting. This is looting. This is riot. And the DA and the Justice Department, the courts need to make sure these people pay a price for what they did.
Of the 52 arrested, police say 3 were juveniles. The rest were adults ranging in age. And there could be more arrests as they continue to go through evidence and look at so much surveillance footage. We're live in Center City. Catherine Scott, Channel 6 Action.
Normal society, which we are not, this person would have been locked up and the key would have been thrown away. That is what should actually happen in this case. I mean, you are costing the state of Pennsylvania all kinds of money. And then to go on top of this, you're complaining, which of course she did earlier, about the fact that she did not like the fact that the food was being brought in under the door. I hate to say this, but it's called jail. It's not supposed to be fun. All right, and I want to go ahead and say this right now. If the prison system or if the jail system, if they just went ahead and just kind of approached everything, because I hate to tell you this, but jail is actually worse than prison. You see, when you go to prison, what typically tends to happen is that you're practically given a living quarters, or you be in general population or whatever, and you have, of course, toiletries and things like that. You're, for the most part, confined to some walls, and you still get yard time from time to time. You're locked up long away from society. The thing about jail, on the other hand, is that in jail, they actually throw you through the ringer. It's almost like being in the military. And I think if you actually make jails not the same as the military, I'm saying it's almost like being that way with the order and the discipline. You got to get out, get checked, all that type of crap there, searches, all that type of stuff. You still get it in prison too, but you got a little bit more freedom there. This person right here, we need to actually make the jails. This is a great example of why it is that the jails themselves need to almost be, much, much more extreme in the level of what prison guards can actually do as far as the rules are concerned. You get up when we tell you to get up. You go down when we tell you to get up. You got to ask permission to go to the bathroom. Of course, you may have one in your cell, but guess what? You should still be allowed to. It should be that way. Once you put somebody through that type of ordeal, once you actually put them through there, you can actually probably reform them. This young girl right here, what's she going to do? She's going to go out there and she's going to commit more crimes. She's probably going to live stream another incident. So when you hear this person say, oh, I'm never going to do this crap again, just go ahead and know right away that is pretty much a dead giveaway. This same person will be arrested again, probably the next 2 to 3 weeks over something similar. Philadelphia is a city that has got its department kind of stretched a little bit thin, you know, the whole defund the police thing. And it's also got one of those porous attorneys that just lets people just off the hook. You know, you can practically shoot somebody in one of these. YouTube, I'm not advocating, I'm just simply saying you can pretty much do whatever it is that you want, and then out of the middle of nowhere, the district attorney says, you know what, let's just go ahead and drop the charge, let's go ahead and send them on home or whatever. They never get held, when obviously this was a situation where this particular person needed to be held, and they needed to be held in jail for a lot longer than, said, 8 to 12 hours. It's almost like they're processing people in and out of there so fast, and of course they then turn right back around and then they commit another crime. Don't worry, we'll get to the CNN segment here in a second, because when CNN has turned on you and turned on these people that they help promote, then obviously there is a problem, but we will get to that here in a second. So what should happen in this situation? What should this particular person get? So let's think about this really quick. Not only do you commit the crime, not only do you go out of your way to egg on the rioters, the looters, not only do you do that, but then you turn right back around and stream it. And also something else too, I think an even just as big of a more egregious crime is the mere fact that she's wearing a mask while she's driving. These people who wear their mask while they're driving, these covidians, these infected, they really and truly do bother me for a multitude of reasons, because it lets me know that they're non-player characters. You see, I would love to sit here and call these people commies. I would love to sit here and call these people Nazis. I would love to sit here and call these people fascists. But at the end of the day, they ultimately just end up being what the hell Yuri Bezmenov said. Useful idiots. These people are non-player characters. They do whatever the hell is said. But occasionally, you will get somebody, like in this situation here, who knows that people are wearing masks, and obviously they're going to look for a reason to do something wrong, like, say, egging on a looting effort or committing some form of crime. And of course, they go out there, they wear the mask, so therefore they cannot be identified. But yet at the same time, though, they also prove to you exactly how much brain power they have by then live streaming the event with their face being seen. Not only was it an Apple store that was robbed, it was also a Popeye's chicken that was robbed, and also a liquor store. Liquor stores, by the way, throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania, they're closing up because of this. Meaning, not only is Apple losing product, but anybody and everybody who had a local distillery, or everybody who sells local, who, by the way, sell at these Pennsylvania liquor stores like crazy, local beer, craft beer, stuff like that, they're losing money as well. As you guys can obviously see, the crime here is obviously a really big issue. It affects anything and everything. As a matter of fact, if the Republican nominee of 2024 ran strictly on crime, they would more than likely win, because the overall vote in the cities would be a very, very low vote, meaning therefore the rural and suburban vote and small town vote would actually overtake it. It's a smart strategy to run on crime, because obviously crime affects everyone. But let's get away from the politics just for a second. Let's just go ahead and run this segment here, because it was people like this here who gave us these poros attorneys.
California, if it's under $1,000 worth of goods taken, it's a misdemeanor. And so there are some who argue that by having that law in place, it just doesn't put a stop to this. Is that the case in all these cities? Is that part of this?
Poppy, I think it is. And, the litmus test there is, where is this happening? And you're seeing this kind of, looting happening, shoplifting and organized retail theft happen in places like New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia. If you look at where Target closed 9 stores yesterday, 4 stores in San Francisco, stores in Seattle, stores in Portland, stores in New York. These are places where bail reform laws, criminal justice reforms have taken the inside of a jail cell out of the equation. So shoplifting is a crime where a judge can't set bail. Think about this. In New York City, there are just over 300 people who have between them 4,000 arrests. 70% of them are not in jail, and they account for 30% of all shoplifting in New York. This is actually their job. They go out to steal every day, and that has gone up significantly, because they know getting put in jail is not in the equation any longer, because of the laws that say it's a no bail offense, and DA's policies are they don't want people in custody for what they call.
About losing CNN here in a second, because obviously there is a component here, because these people have opened up Pandora's box and all kinds of crazy stuff is coming out. Things that for whatever reason they didn't believe was going to occur, but here I am sitting here telling you that this entire thing would exactly occur. When you have very weak leadership, people do not respect the leadership, and then after a while, people just start doing whatever, and they, quite frankly, eventually start getting away with whatever. It's how things work. If you do not punish someone, they will continue to do bad. A child left to themselves will bring their mother to shame. That is the real truth of this. And I'm kind of sitting here wondering if this particular person's mother is, in fact, in shame, exactly where this person comes from. But don't worry, we'll talk more about that in other videos, because obviously YouTube's got this thing about censorship, and you don't want to get in trouble here, because obviously we got to get the message out to people. The truth be told is this right here. The police departments are not allowed to do their jobs. You got district attorneys who are going out of their way, and I mean going out of their way, to let people like this right here go. Not only are they letting people like this right here go, they're letting them run roughshod all over the place. 70% in New York City. And by the way, these people are all going to end up being repeat offenders, meaning that they're going to continue to do this over and over and over again. Now, somebody's probably going to come in here and say, well, the prison population is it's overcrowded. Black people really and truly get treated bad in prison. I hate to tell you this, but everybody gets treated bad in prison, okay? It's called prison. People get treated bad in prison for a reason, because guess what? You did the crime, you do the time. And Daddy obviously brought her up wrong, or Does she even have two parents in her house? I mean, dude, the single parent issue in a certain community is obviously a problem. But of course, if we point that out, we immediately get labeled as racist. That right there is actually the truth here. This young girl right here should not be back on the street. She needs to actually experience good old-fashioned jail. She needs to actually be locked up and kept in there for a while until her actual court date, and then from there she needs to go to prison. Do you have any idea how many people could have gotten hurt in this entire exchange? Not just the money that was lost, also the products, which I still think is absolutely ridiculous that these kids decided to steal Apple iPhones from an Apple store, which, by the way, they did not obviously get a plan set up for the phone. And, I mean, it just makes me wonder, what the hell are you going to do with these things? And I'm pretty sure they all got delinquent phone bills, too. The parents probably got delinquent phone bills as well. This right here is an absolute nightmare. This right here is absolute chaos. You're seeing exactly the result of extremely weak leadership here in this country right now, from the top all the way down to the local level district attorney. So, what happens? What happens as a result of this? Well, you're probably going to see more and more, I don't know, spider wrap things put inside cases, you know, the plastic ones, the very hard plastic ones. You got to have a special little thing to open up with. You're probably going to see that, but that's more than likely not going to deter anything. They'll find a way to break into that stuff there. It's not that hard to do if you just slam it on the ground properly. You'll probably see some of that there. And then, of course, after a while, like I said in the previous video, you will see some places begin to, start to shut down, start to leave certain neighborhoods. West Philadelphia's pretty bad. South Philly's pretty bad. What do you think's going to happen? Target's going to be gone. Apple's going to be gone. We don't want to lose any more product. We're going to move our stores to much, much smaller towns where they'll actually benefit, because people will actually probably look at their product. They'll realize it's more profitable to be in a place where you don't get robbed, or a place where you don't get completely ransacked. That's probably what's going to happen, especially given the fact that this particular person, Meatball, who I just saw in the previous video, Dookie Ball, because of her Instagram photos, will more than likely, of course, be back to actually do it again. Next thing you know, more small businesses, they will begin to leave as well. They'll start to go into the good sides of town. Now, granted, we don't know if they're going to be successful or not, but here's the thing. You start going to the good side of town, after a while, these people are eventually going to make their way over there. Now, what do you think these people are going to do in the good side of town? They're going to order the cops to arrest you on the spot. Then guess what we got to do? We got to listen to the whole discrimination thing. They're discriminating me because I'm black. No. They're discriminating against you because you probably committed a freaking crime. This rant here goes too much further. Let me ask a question. And by the way, YouTube, I'm not advocating or anything. I'm just simply throwing it out here. What do you think is going to happen after a while when people realize that the cops are not going to protect them? What do you think is going to happen when they realize that when the cop actually arrests somebody and said somebody gets back out on the street? What do you think is going to happen after a while? Well, people are going to start defending themselves. They're going to start taking matters in their own hands. I'm not telling you guys to do that. I'm just simply saying that right there is more than likely what's going to occur. One of the video projects I wanted to work on was I was going to ask the question if we are slowly but surely becoming the world of Paul Kersey, meaning that crime gets so far out of control that eventually people just start standing up on their own. They do it different ways, of course. I'm not advocating, but I'm just simply asking the question. Are we headed towards the Death Wish scenario? Are we headed towards that? Are we really and truly headed towards Batman's no man's land, where the criminals completely take over the city and there ain't nothing there? And the next thing you know, the crap hole becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. People don't want to live there. People eventually leave. People get the hell away from there. I mean, it's almost like Scott Adams was actually correct. But of course, I can't say that here on this channel in full detail, or else I will get removed. With that right there being said, I'm going to put an end to this rant. You people who live in these areas, you did it to yourself. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comments section. Once again, I apologize for absolutely nothing. And to the infected and social justice warriors, piss the hell off.